Happy New Year. Good morning and welcome to Access Health. I'm Erica Vetrini, and it's that time of year again. We've made our resolutions to eat healthier, get fit, or just simply take better care of ourselves. According to Forbes magazine, 25% of Americans do not succeed in reaching their goals. But today, we're setting ourselves up for success with simple solutions for keeping those resolutions. Access Health starts now. We all crave sleep, but too many nights we fall short of the 7 or 8 hours we need to thrive. According to the University of Michigan Sleep Disorder Centers, less than 7 hours of sleep is problematic and can impair your levels of reasoning, productivity, problem-solving skills, not to mention our moods. The secret to a better night's rest may be right under your noses. There is no doubt that sleep is a critical component of our health, not just a luxury that we dream about. Our body uses that time to strengthen memory, heal tissue, rebuild and replenish our cells. The CDC is calling sleep deprivation a public health epidemic, and studies show that approximately 70 million Americans are suffering from a chronic sleep disorder. Well, joining me today in the studio is the sleep ambassador, Nancy Rothstein, who tells me we need to wake up to the important role sleep plays in our lives. Boy, Nancy, am I so glad that you're here today.
And I am thrilled to be here to share a bit of my passion for helping people get a better night's sleep.
Well, we heard the statistics, and they're staggering, but I'm absolutely not surprised. I feel like everyone I speak to suffers from some sort of sleep disorder or lack of sleep.
You know, we live in this 24/7 nonstop do, go, and it's very difficult for people to transition from a busy day, or if they're a shift worker, a busy night, into sleep. You cited the statistic about how many people have a sleep disorder, and that is a place to start. Because if somebody, yourself or somebody you love, bed partner or family member, may have a sleep disorder, it's important to get that checked out.
What if I have gone to the doctor and they determine that I don't have a breathing-related sleep disorder?
At that point, you have to start to look at what is the problem here. Is the problem my sleep habits and I'm just not preparing for sleep well? You know, we prepare for our day, we prepare for work, but do you prepare for sleep?
Right.
And another issue is your bed partner snoring. Or maybe you're waking yourself up from snoring, or maybe you're breathing through your mouth.
I am a mouth breather at night, and I wake up with dry mouth, so I get it. And I hear athletes talk about the importance of breathing through your nose. Is that the case?
It's important to breathe through your nose 24/7. It's a really important organ, and it has very important functions into how we breathe.
Is it also the reason why we snore?
Well, when we are breathing through our mouth and not through our nose, the vibrations we hear, the noise we hear has to do with how we're breathing through our mouth and the tissues, etc.
So Nancy, why is it that we snore?
Understanding why we snore is a pathway to understanding what do we do about it.
Okay.
Imagine you're laying down. Your anatomy shifts a bit when you lay down. So now the tongue's going to go back. It's going to get in the way of the airway, and it's going to cause a vibration, which is the sound we know is snoring. So when we go back to the nose and nasal breathing, it is the way we are designed to breathe. It processes the air for our lungs, for our functioning, and another thing, it helps us oxygenate properly when we breathe through our nose.
So how can we make that adjustment?
I was at a conference a couple of months ago, and there was a booth for RhinoMed, and I thought, what's that all about? Well, the first thing I saw was, because the yellow stands out, was their turbine, which was their first product for athletes. Our lovely focus is on sleep, and sleep is the mute device, and that's their sleep designed device. It is registered with the FDA. It is beautifully designed. It is adjustable and comes in 3 sizes. Each size within itself is adjustable because no one's nasal passages are the same.
It's going to open up my nasal passages so I can breathe better and more easily through my nose.
It's going to increase the airflow through your nasal passage by gently opening the nasal airway. So, you want to try to put it in?
I do want to.
So remember,
yes,
you want to hold this here, loops to lips. That's my little thing. So I don't put it in upside down.
Oh, it's so lightweight. Incredibly lightweight. Is it in?
And if you just take one breath, not even deep, you're going to say.
No, totally.
Can you believe that?
I'm so amazed. I really thought it was going to be cumbersome and I'd probably be aware of it, but it's very lightweight and you're almost not aware of it.
And think about it, as that capacity of air increases as you breathe in, you are providing more airflow to your entire body, every cell.
Nancy, thank you so much for all this great information and for this wonderful product. It's going to change a lot of lives. For more information on how to sleep well and live well, visit Nancy at thesleepambassador.com. You can also find out more information about the Mute nasal device on their website, mutesnoring.com. And of course, you can find all of these resources on our website at accesshealth.tv. Coming up, saying no to the latest fad diets and yes to shedding those pounds for good. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, in the United States today, over 60% of all adult women are overweight. And tipping the scales even further are the men, with nearly 75% of you guys needing to shed a few pounds. What if there was an effective tool to help us along our weight loss journey? Joining me today to give us the skinny are Holly Tully and David Mastroianni from InQ Farm North America. Welcome, Holly. Welcome, David.
Thanks, Erica.
We've got some good stuff to talk about today. Holly, I'm going to start with you. You've been in the health and wellness industry for over 20 years. In your opinion, what are some of the biggest obstacles that people face when dealing with their weight loss?
The process of losing weight and keeping it off requires some trial and error because there's no one-size-fits-all solution that's going to help everyone. So you really have to make this a very personal journey for yourself that takes into account not only your body type, but also your lifestyle and your personality. Take exercise, for instance. We all know the importance of it. It increases your endorphins, increases your metabolism. But if you hate running on the treadmill for an hour every day, then the chances are you're not going to stick with it.
Yeah, and sometimes you're too busy, and sometimes there are kids, and sometimes age, all kinds of things.
Exactly. Really, you have to find a plan that is simple, effective, but also sustainable so that you have long-term success.
So David, you've been in the nutritional and natural product industry now for over 30 years. In your opinion, what are some of the keys to long-term success when it comes to weight loss?
In addition to a lack of proper physical activity and carbohydrates in the diet, one of the major factors in weight loss is the amount of fat in your diet. Now, if a lot of people make an effort to reduce the amount of fat in their diet, but that is often very difficult. And fat, when it's absorbed into the body, has more than 2 times the amount of calories as carbohydrates and proteins.
So Holly, to David's point about dietary fat absorption, I hear you brought us a cutting-edge weight management product designed to help us with this.
Absolutely. What we have here is iRemove. It's a dietary supplement that can increase the absorption of dietary fat by up to 28%. iRemove is a perfect balance of nature and science. The nature being it's naturally derived and plant-based, and then science being it is backed by some incredible, rigorous clinical studies that are pharmaceutical level. The major ingredient is litramine, and that is our proprietary formula that is manufactured with InQ Farm's technology. Nobody else can make litramine in the way that we do, and it has gone through multiple rounds of improvement to bring you the most efficacious fat binding. And in fact, it is 7 to 9 times more effective in fat binding than any other fat binder on the market.
So David, how does litramine as a fat binder actually work?
Sure. Well, we take in foods from our diet, and those foods contain fat. They're absorbed in our digestive system and broken down into little fat globules. And litramine actually attaches to those fat globules in your GI tract and removes them from your body before they can be laid down as body fat.
So now, Holly, how is iRemove different than other fat binders on the market?
It's free of harsh stimulants and contains no synthetic metabolic enhancers. And it's important to really point that out because it's the things that work biochemically in our body that end up causing the real harsh side effects that we hear about so often. And because it's free from animal products and byproducts, it's suitable for vegan diets. It's also non-GMO, gluten-free, and free of most of the common allergens that people have problems with. It also has fiber, and we all know the benefits of fiber. It can increase satiety, keep you feeling full longer, as well as improve digestion. Not only is it efficacious and safe, it's been the #1 seller in Europe for the past 5 years in a row, and we've sold over 35 million units. So that's a real testament to not only its efficacy, but also its well-tolerated formula.
We also have a very strong science to support it. We call it gold standard, pharmaceutical grade clinical studies. In our study, we used over 120 people over 3 months. So it was double-blind, placebo-controlled, randomized studies. And what we found is that people on a calorie-controlled diet were doing some physical activity. Those on Litramine or iRemove lost 3 times the amount of weight as those that were on the placebo.
So Holly, there really are so many dietary supplements on the market right now. It can be completely overwhelming. How do we determine which one's right for us?
Well, first of all, it's okay to get some help along your weight loss journey, whether it's a personal trainer or a nutritionist or a great product to help give you a little edge at the time that you need it the most. You really want to make smart and educated choices and not be seduced by the quick fix solutions. And so finding something that is easy and sustainable and adding a product like iRemove, which can help you get there a little faster so that you can set yourself up for the long-term success.
Thank you so much, Holly and David. I know there's a lot of people that are going to benefit from this product, from this information. And if you want more information, you can head to bmismart.com. And of course, you can find all of these resources on our website at accesshealth.tv. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Coming up, how advances in home testing kits are helping fight the battle against cervical cancer worldwide. Since the advent of the first over-the-counter pregnancy test in 1977, significant progress has been made in home diagnostics. And today, there are mail-in tests for HIV, STD screenings, and even paternity tests, all from the privacy of your own home. According to the World Health Organization, cervical cancer, which is preventable through regular screening, is still responsible for the deaths of approximately 275,000 women every year. Despite the evidence that cervical cancer screening saves lives, 1 in 10 women report not getting their Pap test in the last 5 years due to limited access to care, no insurance, lack of awareness, or simply not having a healthcare provider. One solution to these barriers could be the latest innovation in home diagnostics called Self-Pap, which enables women to take control of their health screenings in the comfort of their own home. Dr. Richard Conlin joins us with more.
The purpose of this kit is to obtain cells that can then be analyzed to determine whether there is infection, whether it be an STD, or abnormal cells as well as HPV. These are important tests that you need to be aware of and test yourself for on a frequent basis. This will give us an idea of HPV. You can also do STD screening and a myriad of tests that go along with it. It's good for a couple of weeks at the laboratory, so if you change your mind and you want to add tests, you can do that later. You can get more information on the Self-Pap self-collection kit at selfpap.com.
Most people understand how important oral hygiene is, brushing and cleaning between your teeth, but it's equally important to schedule those routine dental checkups, and that's not just to prevent disease. Your dentist might discover signs or symptoms of what could become a more serious illness, because our mouths are like a looking glass into our health. I'm speaking with Dr. Jed Jacobson today. How are you?
I am well. Thanks for the invitation, and please call me Dr. J.
Dr. J, you have made it your mission to convince people that they need these routine dental checkups. Why are you so passionate about it?
Well, I think one fact that isn't known by many is that dental checkup is really, as you mentioned before, a window into the body, and we are disease detectives. There are some 120 different systemic diseases where if a dental and dental hygienist does a thorough examination, can see the early oral manifestations of those diseases. So it's the early detection that's the key. Examples are cardiovascular disease, respiratory diseases. One that I want to bring the audience's attention to is oral cancer and its changing nature in America. Oral cancer is a killer. It probably kills as many people in the United States as does cervical cancer, skin cancer, and many people are not aware of it. In fact, it's the 6th most common cancer in men in the United States. It's deadly. Again, that survival rate is about a coin toss. Should you survive it, you become extremely disabled. So the point is, it's changing, though. It used to be an old man's disease. Now it's a disease where women and young people are increasing in frequency.
Wow, that's really interesting, actually. And it just gives a good argument to identifying diseases earlier rather than later.
That's the cornerstone of the profession, is that preventive aspect. And the dental hygienist and the dentist working together, preventing tooth decay, gingivitis, which then can lead to periodontitis, which are all bacterial in origin. So getting in, cleaning, even though we do a wonderful job at home making our mothers proud, we still leave many millions of bacteria behind. That prevention not only is preventing those 3 diseases, tooth decay, gingivitis, periodontitis, but as you mentioned earlier, you're not just preventing the oral diseases, it may be the associated medical.
With the rest of the body. And it's also important to know that depending on your needs, your frequency of routine oral exams can range anywhere from 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, maybe even a year, just depending on what you're needing. So who is not seeing their dentist for these routine checkups?
The evidence is overwhelming. Those that don't see a dentist on an annual basis don't have dental insurance. And that's the key, we think, in getting individuals to come to the dental office, is it helps mitigate and reduce the cost or the perceived high cost of dental care is dental insurance. And that's 126 million Americans, that's 40% of us here in the United States. We're doing a good job with kids, particularly through the Affordable Care Act, but it's the adults that we're getting very concerned about. We at Renaissance are particularly concerned about the elderly going forward.
And that's my favorite population actually to see. So who exactly are we talking about without dental coverage?
Yeah, what typically happens in the United States is you and I, as a benefit of employment, will have dental insurance and we will enjoy the benefits until we retire. Often when we retire, we lose that dental benefit. We sign up for Medicare, and Medicare does not have any dental benefits baked into it. Predominantly because in 1965, when Medicare was formed by the Congress, our predecessors didn't have teeth. There was no need for it. So when it comes to this getting to the dental office, early detection of diseases, prevention, if you buy dental insurance, a Medicare supplement, for example, there's an opportunity now to offer up a supplement. Renaissance offers a series of those where they can add that dental insurance component.
But dental care can be so expensive.
Particularly in the elderly. Yes. And you know this because you work with the elderly. Many of us will have restorations and fillings and crowns that have been long-standing that we've accumulated through life. Now we drop off and we retire and they need repair. There's a shelf life to those restorations, and typically those repairs are very costly, very expensive. That's where that dental insurance can help reduce those costs.
And when you speak of the elderly, another issue that we can see with seniors is that they're on a lot of medication, and they might even have some of the systemic diseases that's going to increase their risk for gum disease. And a lot of those medications are actually giving them some dry mouth.
Michelle, that's a great point. Some 400 medications we know have a decrease or a diminution of salivary flow as a side effect of that medication. Antihypertensives, antidepressants, decongestants, antihistamines. So, and that reduction of saliva puts an individual, an elderly, particularly at risk because the saliva has a lot of protective enzymes, components, elements that reduce the risk of dental decay, periodontal disease, et cetera. So without that, particularly those that are taking medications, really need a dental insurance to get them to come into the office for the cleanings, the dental hygienist, et cetera.
Thank you, Dr. J, for being here with us
today.
Michelle,
thank you.
Many patients who have not been to the dentist in years are oftentimes embarrassed to return even if they have dental insurance. I just would like to say we as dental professionals are excited to have you in our chair, even if it has been many years. So don't be afraid of judgment. We are happy you have taken the next step in improving your oral health. So make sure you follow up. Take care of that smile and it will take care of you. Managing your dental care cost is a smart start. Learn more at renaissancedental.com. And take better charge of your overall health and wellness by visiting us at accesshealth.tv or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Thank you for joining us, and remember to set yourself up for success when making those New Year's resolutions. By setting attainable goals, you can put something else at the top of your list next year. I'm Erica Vetrini with Access Health. See you next time.